If you've ever started a piece of music and never finished it, not completed it, you're not lazy and you're not lacking discipline. It's so easy to have that strong start with the excitement and the new project, the new idea, the new sound, and to jump in head first with that emotion, with that dopamine kick. And midway through, or maybe quickly for some of us and some projects, doubt comes creeping in, comparison kicks in, and all of a sudden we are not in the creative zone anymore. It's not because we're lazy. It's not because we're not being disciplined or rudimentary enough. It's because of a completely different reason. If we haven't met yet, I'm EP Archer, and this is Music Rebels Rising, where serious musicians break away from patterns and finally create music that actually feels like them. So when the spiral starts, what is that? Is it overthinking? Is it shiny object syndrome? There's a hamster. There's a coffee. My phone rang. All of those different things. There's so many distractions nowadays. And some of us have brains that just need like continual input, right? You might need to actually be in your sensory environment to properly create music. You might need, like your warm fuzzy and your like foot warmer and your best tea and the darkened lights. And maybe it's not as easy if there's traffic outside on the road and a doggy snoring next to you and a partner that maybe is working in the same space. Or maybe it's easier if you have all those things because it takes the edge off. It takes the very quiet focus. Everybody's different. You know what works for you. You're either, that in isolation, deep thought, quiet environment. I got to have my juju. Or you're somebody that's like, I want to be surrounded. I want to be in the middle of the city at a Starbucks with my headphones on, dropping sick beats. It doesn't matter which you are. It just matters to know that and to honor that, right? So part of this is just to honor that. The other part is to push yourself. Oh, there's no way I could ever work at a busy Starbucks. Everything would be distracted. What if you pushed yourself? What if you made a commitment to say, I'm going to go into an environment where I do not usually write? People who write music for a living and create music for a living and create things, books, they're not inspired to always do it in the same cubicle, the same room, the same city. I feel like some of my most inspiring and fruitful times were when I decided to take a solo trip, to go to Taos and be with the farm fresh food and the crystals and the First Peoples environment and nature. Oh my gosh. Or like the beach trip to California, or you name it. Where can you go to instill and inspire and to meaningfully set an intention when you do it, right? It's not like I'm going to go to Starbucks and I'll just see what happens. Maybe I'll be able to, and maybe I won't. It's like, no, I will come out with something. I don't know what it is. There's an artist I saw the other day on social media that was like, I'm going to go to the market and get some inspiration for lyrics. It was seemingly like innocuous, a little experiment, but going to the market, and it was like, okay, this particular product is orange, and that reminded me of this, and that reminded me of this person, and then this produce reminded them of something else. And by, 5 minutes later, they had 3 lyrical ideas that were formed into enough of idea to go home and write a song. And they did. And I'm like, that is so freaking cool. Like whether it's a park or busy traffic, I think of the little boy in August Rush, where he'd like walking through the city and just hearing like horns blaring and traffic and tires and everything. And he's creating a symphony in his head with what he's hearing. And maybe that sounds like romantic and not, not real, but it is real if you allow it to be. If you allow that inspiration to flow through. So first off, obviously, let's just do what is our default and our easiest way to do it. And task ourselves with, hey, I'm going to complete this. Or, hey, I'm, whatever the goal is. Maybe it's 1 verse. Maybe it's 1 note. Maybe it's 8 notes. I don't know what it is. But set a parameter, set a time limit, and honor it. One of my favorite books, The War of Art, Stephen Pressfield, he talks a lot about just showing up at the same time every day and doing the deal. It's not always about this like golden nugget of inspiration that's like falling from the heavens in a sparkly glow and decorating my cheeks with glitter as I drink in the delicious honey inspiration. It's not always like that. Sometimes it's like a really freaking hard day and you're crying your eyes out, or like your gut-wrenching grief, or something happens that really sucks. Go to your music. Go to your creative place and allow that to flow, allow it to heal. That's how we do inner child healing, right? That's most of us that are musicians are working through some of that, or allowing some of that to be reborn in us. So not overthinking, not perfectionism, not procrastination, not overwhelm. And those can be the enemies, right? The perfectionism is procrastination in disguise. I've got to fix this. I've got to edit it. I've been experiencing a little bit with this podcast, because I'm like, I want to go through and edit, and I want to, drop the bass, and I want to like make the noise floor and all this stuff. And it's like, no, I'm just going to force myself to record and to produce and to publish and to be here for you all, to be here for myself, to be here for the musician's journey, for the revolution. So perfectionism out the window, procrastination out the window. If you're just not getting to it, set a timer. When the timer goes off, you have 5 seconds to get to your notebook, your instrument, your voice, your beats, whatever you have going on. And the other one is overwhelm. And overwhelm usually happens, it can be in conjunction with this thing where we have weird rules, like, right, well, I'm going to sit down and write, but I have to have this certain notebook and a certain pencil, or if I write, I have to finish it, or it doesn't count, or it has to use this new technique I've learned, or it has to be really good, or I'm going to crumple it. There's some weird rule that doesn't really exist except in that part of us that limits us, that shackles us. We talked about this a little bit in the last episode, but that just doesn't allow our true self to come out. So just reach in there, pull off the layer, dig down deep, release it. These weird rules, they got to go. And the overwhelm often happens when they all start popping up in tandem, right? And the other thing that happens is we try to edit it as we're creating it. That doesn't work. We try to refine it, edit it, judge it. No, let it come out. Allow that inspiration to flow through you. And whether that's your scientific mathematical brain doing its thing, recalculating and patterning something in a completely new way, or in a way that you've learned, or whether it's this divine feeling inspiration flowing through you, allow it to happen. And don't edit, don't refine, don't judge. That's a different part of the process. Allow it to be finished, whether that is a time unit, a length unit, or a completed work unit. Set the timer, let it expire, and be with it. And if you have to come back to your work, give yourself a deadline. I will finish this in 2 days. And however it is finished. You know why this is so great? This is what we do for ourselves and for others. We enter contests, we get gigs, we apply for, fellowships and scholarships, and we audition for bands and shows, and we submit our work to be featured in something. You know why we do that? Because it puts a time constraint on it. We have to finish it to submit it. We have to prepare to show up at the audition and have something. And that is so, so valuable. More than the outcome of those kind of things, the experience that you attended to, honored, and finished that thing. So if that's what you need, go find a contest, go find a submission, go to Taxi Music and start getting your music up for sync. Do whatever it takes to put that restraint on yourself so that you can get it all out there. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're not disciplined. It's because you're trying to edit it, refine it, or judge it before it's even done. Don't evaluate too early in the process. Allow that creative flow to happen organically, intellectually, and tap into your higher inspiration of your infinite subconscious mind. If you're ready for your music, your sound, and your next step, join the revolution. I'll see you next time.